Hello, my name is Sean Policino. Thank you and welcome to the real world of real estate. And I am a real estate agent, and we're broadcasting live here on Clubhouse, as well as we put our podcast out on all of our social media channels, including YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iTunes. So you can find us there. Please like and share the content. And we are talking today about the do's and the don'ts of a real estate agent. How can you prevent yourself from stepping into the pitfalls, the many pitfalls that agents step into? And I'm a real estate agent myself. I run a real estate team, and I am a real estate coach. So I've been doing this for about 16 years. I was with Keller Williams as my broker partner for the last 16 years. And about 10 months ago, I changed to eXp Realty. And I sometimes share various reasons why I made the change. But I am a producing agent, meaning I sell myself personally between 35 and 45 homes a year. The average agent sells 6 homes a year. So these techniques that I share here on the show all have to do with what I feel I've gotten my success from. So they're the tips, the strategies, the techniques that I use in my own real estate business today. It's also the same techniques and strategies that I teach the agents that join my team. And if you're interested in joining my team, we can set up an interview. I'll share with you my information, so where to schedule and how to set that interview up. Okay. Our phone number here on the show, we are live, so you can call us 818-338-8787. If you're watching this on one of our social media channels, it's recorded, so you can't call in, but you're welcome to call me anytime. If you'd like to be a participant on the show, we can schedule that and talk about real world issues, real world strategies, real world lead generation techniques. This is what we talk about on the show. So today we're talking about the pitfalls that most agents fall into and the do's and the don'ts of a real estate agent. Okay. And I also told you I'm a real estate coach as well. So I coach many agents, several agents, about 20 of them actually, through Icon Coaching. So you can go to iconcoaching.com and you can see the various coaching programs that are offered at Icon. We have other coaches. I'm not the owner of Icon. Sean Kokoska, who was a real estate agent for Remax and Keller Williams, the #1 real estate agent and team in Colorado for many years, sold over $1 billion in real estate. He was making over $100,000 a month as a buyer's agent in his mother's real estate business. She took over 160 listings in her last year of real estate there in Denver. Okay. I've ran an entire office of Keller Williams. I was a team leader, productivity coach, and on the board of directors at Keller Williams for 7 terms out of my 16 years there at that company. So if you're here in Clubhouse and you want to come onto the stage, I'd love to have you. We could talk about any real world situations that you're dealing with in your real estate business. We can talk through a strategy, that I might share, or whatever you'd like to. So just go ahead and raise your hand if you'd like to come up on stage. I'll try to keep an eye on that as well. And so what I'd like to tell you is there's a crazy statistic, and we're going to actually experience this in real time right now. I don't know whether you guys realize this, but agents are getting out of the industry right now as we speak. Interest rates went from the low 3s to 4.75 on an FHA loan just over the last week and a half. And the interest rate is caused because inflation is high and the government has raised the Fed rate, and the government has also expressed that they are very concerned now. They've gone from not so concerned to very concerned about inflation. And we're all seeing at the gas pump and the cost of goods and the food and restaurants. It doesn't matter what it is, including real estate, there is definitely inflation in the market. And because of that, because of the printing of money and all the things that they've done, the market is now shifting. And this is something a lot of people have been waiting on the fence for. So it's a great time to call your people, call your sphere of influence, call the leads in your database, call anybody and everybody, because there are people that have been waiting and sitting on the fence, waiting for this moment for prices to come down. Now, have real estate prices come down? Not yet. That is a lagging thing that happens. That's a a lagging indicator of the market. It's not the leading. The leading edge, the leading indicator is the fact that we have inflation. The government has come out and said they're concerned about it, and they're going to raise interest rates 6 to 7 times in the year of 2022. That's basically every month. They're going to raise the Fed rate. The Fed rate is attached to credit cards, installment loans, and the Fed rate is attached to installment loans, credit cards, and any sort of revolving debt. Okay, car loans as well. And so you will see those interest rates rise right away. The mortgage rates are attached to an index and driven by the market, with the mortgage banks and mortgage market, the secondhand market determines their confidence in what's happening. So because the Fed said they're going to raise rates 6 or 7 times and that they're concerned about inflation, the market has responded, and the mortgage rates have jumped over a point and a half, basically, in the last week or a week and a half. So it's been a terrible week for the mortgage market, terrible week for buyers out there that have been on the fence or in the process of actually buying a home. Maybe they're out looking, maybe they're saving their money and they're on the fence, they want to buy, but they haven't actually done it. And now it has instantly become more expensive for them. The affordability rate has actually gone down. It's become less affordable because of the interest rate. And so we have to understand that is going to impact things. And the market is we're going to see what the impact is. If the rate keeps going up, the Fed rate keeps going up, what does the mortgage rate do? That could actually continue to go up. It could actually level off. It may even go down a little bit, depending upon what happens with the Fed rate and what happens with inflation. So why is this important? Because one of the major pitfalls that agents fall into is they become a secret agent. And what that means is nobody knows in their close network of people that they know. We're talking about ex-coworkers, we're talking about neighbors, we're talking about family and friends. We're talking about people out of state, in state that know them. People you went to high school with that live in your local area. People you went to college with, anybody that you know at past jobs that you've held. These are what we call your sphere of influence. And the number one mistake agents make is they don't effectively touch this people group. We're going to talk about a couple different people groups. If you want to call into the show, the number is 818-338-8787. I'm not going to answer my cell phone if you're calling my cell phone, which I'm not sure if that's what that is, but call that number, 818-338-8787. We can come onto the show and we'll talk about anything that you want to talk about. You can also call me after the show's over and we can talk about scheduling if you're interested in coaching or joining the team or want to know what EXP has to offer and if you want to know why I switched companies. Okay, back to the issue. The issue at hand is, what are the pitfalls that agents fall into? And the biggest one is they don't make effective contact with their sphere of influence. And so what do I mean by effective contact? I mean systematically touching this group in a way that causes you to create top of mind awareness with that group. So these are friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, people you know from high school, that group. These are people you know. People you could pick up the phone and say, hey, let's go have lunch, and it wouldn't be weird. That's the group of people we're talking about here. We'll talk about other groups, but for right now, we're talking about that group. And the biggest mistake is you don't effectively stay on the top of mind of this group and you become a secret agent. And that means they don't know. And so they don't know, they don't call you when they're thinking. The husband says to the wife, hey, we should buy it. We got that money sitting in the bank. It's not getting enough interest in the market. Let's go ahead and buy a rental property. They don't think of you. If their neighbor says to them, hey, John, you know what, we're actually, Betty and I are thinking about making a move and we're going to probably move back home and get out of California. At that moment, you want your friend to think of you and say, hey, you know what, you should call my friend Sean. He's a great agent. Even though your friend may have never bought a home or sold a house with you, you want him to promote you. You want him to introduce you to people that he's thinking of. The only way you're going to create that persona around your business is by not being a secret agent and getting that information out there. How do you do that? Well, you do it through a CRM. A CRM is a contact relationship management system. That's the first step. You put all of the people in your CRM. The best way you can do that is to download them right out of your phone using Google and synchronizing it with your CRM, or using a program called mcbackup.com. Go there, you can download the software. It'll take your phone contacts, put them into a spreadsheet, and you can import them into the CRM. Scrub that group, come up with your entire group by labeling and tagging them as your sphere of influence. The ones that live out of state or out of the area, those are OOA for out of area. So SOI, OOA. The ones that are your local area are SOI. So you go through that entire list, you scrub it down, you get just the groups that you want. And then you go through and you create a campaign that has at least 33 touches in it. 33 is a magic number. And this is the number that, through the research of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, which is a book that Gary Keller wrote back in the late 80s. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a laryngitis I'm getting over. So in that book, they discovered through interviewing many agents, the top producing agents, that if you took all of the touches, whether it be a phone call, an email, back then they didn't have email, a birthday card, a Christmas card, a newsletter, all the different ways you could touch a person. And today, obviously, we have ways of touching people through the internet, through social media, through email, through texting that Gary did not have back in the 80s. Okay. So taking all of the ways of a touch, could be a personal event that you invite somebody to, that's a touch. All these different ways that you want to touch a person in your sphere at least 33 times. And if you do this consistently for the next 2 to 3 years, you will reach maximum saturation for TOMA, top of mind awareness. And that means that that person in that group will not be able to think of anybody else other than you. When they're at work and somebody says, hey, I'm thinking about buying a house. Do you own your home? And they think of you. You know what? You got to call my buddy Sean. He's a great agent. And he sells a lot of homes in the area, and I know he can help you. That's what you want to happen. Now, if you don't systematically touch them, they just simply won't think of you. And that's what being a secret agent is. And we don't want that to happen. That's the number one pitfall that agents step into. Once you have your CRM in place, that CRM will work for your other people groups. Right now, we're talking about the sphere of influence. So if anybody in Clubhouse wants to chime in and talk about what they're doing with their CRM, or if you have any questions, feel free. You can jump online and I'll add you to the show and we can talk about what those issues are. So please let me know. Just raise your hand and I'll keep trying to pay attention to the Clubhouse screen here and make sure that I'm not missing you. So back to this, touching them 33 times, making the phone calls, reaching out, having a conversation with this group. You should be comfortable calling this group. This group likes you. These are your friends and your family and your coworkers. If you look at the NAR study that's done every year, the number one reason why people pick an agent to work with is likability. Even if you don't know them, the number one reason is they like you. This group of people, your sphere of influence, they like you, and that's why that's why they're going to want to work with you. But you got to create the top of mind awareness. Okay, so there's a statistic, and this is important. In real estate, 90% of the people that get their real estate license fail and quit within a year. And the ones that make it past a year, 85% of them quit and fail within 5 years. We know this number to be true because people don't renew MLS dues. They don't renew license fees. And we know that they quit. And this is how we know for sure. So it's not a guess. This is a real number and it's consistent year over year. As the market changes and it gets tougher to be a real estate agent, harder to find homes for their buyers, or harder to find buyers for the sellers, inventories will start to rise and the market will start to shift and the pendulum will swing the other way. And it'll go from a strong seller's market into a transitional market or a buyer's market if it swings to the other way. Right now, we're way over here in most markets throughout the country. We're way over here in a strong seller's market, but that pendulum is going to shift, and it's starting to shift already. And how far it will shift before it starts to, swing the other way, we don't know. It won't go all the way over to a strong buyer's market. It may just hover around a balanced market and stay there. So that first strategy, this group, your sphere of influence, is the most important group to capitalize on. If you don't have this group put into your system and systematically touching them through a campaign, and most CRMs come with a 33 touch style campaign. If you want to know how to build one, you can buy the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It tells you step by step how to build it. Once you put that campaign in the system, you can now add that campaign to your group. If you have 150, 30, 200, 250 people in that group like I did, you could sell 36 homes with 250 people in that sphere of influence group by just doing that and adding open houses to it, doing open houses on the weekends or every once a weekend or twice a weekend a month, doing open houses along with your sphere of influence with 250 people in it. You can sell 36 homes just like I did in your first year. If you figure an average commission of $10,000, that's $360,000 gross income. Who wants that? Where are you going to make that? Most people that have college degrees don't make that money. Most attorneys don't make that kind of money. There are attorneys and there are doctors that make more than that, but most entrepreneurs don't make that kind of money. Most restaurant owners, most, business owners like, salon owners and car shop, car businesses that fix cars don't make that kind of money. Okay. You can control your schedule. You can control your time. You can also control your money by controlling your lead generation efforts. So lead generate in your sphere of influence first. That's another mistake that agents make is they don't identify. That's the second thing I'm going to tell you. The second mistake that pitfalls that agents fall into, and that because of this, they become a statistic. 90% fail within a year. And I don't want you to become a statistic. So get your sphere of influence dialed in, then move on to your other strategy. So the second issue is they don't have a strategy. So sphere of influence is your first lead generation. Come up with 3 or 4 lead generation strategies. And if you want a list of 50 different lead generation strategies, email me at seanpolicino@gmail.com, and I'll send you a free list of up to 50 different lead generation strategies. Okay, and you can pick 3 or 4 that you like. The second mistake that agents don't make is they don't stick to the lead generation strategy. They don't get their sphere of influence dialed in first. Second is adopt another 2 or 3 lead generation strategies. For me, in my first year, I sold 36 homes. The average agent sells 6, and that's because they don't adopt a lead generation strategy. So if yours is going to be business to business, or if it's going to be farming, or if it's going to be a geographical farm, what's the difference between that and a demographic farm? If it's going to be expires or FSBOs, for sale by owners, what does that strategy look like? Learn it all. Call me if you need help, and I'll tell you about the strategy for free. Okay. And once you come up with the strategy that you're really committed about, stick to it. That's the second make. They get, agents get caught up in having to design a website and what is my branding going to look like and all this other stuff that they don't need to worry about. You have 6-month window when you get your license. If you don't make money in 6 months, you will be back to whatever job you came from, whatever career you came from. And I don't want to see that happen to you. That's why I put this content out. I want to share with you tips and tricks and strategies that are going to help you win. My success depends upon your success. So if you're interested in joining the team, we actually provide leads for you. We pay for marketing. We help you. We give you the strategies that win and work. And then you're going to do more volume. Yes, you split your commissions with the team, but you're going to sell more real estate and you're gonna have a better chance of succeeding. If you want to come as an individual agent, you can do that too. I'll coach and sponsor you and mentor you for free, and you don't have to pay for coaching. You'll have somebody to help you when those problems come up. Give us a call, 818-338-8787. You can also schedule with me at calendly.com. That's calendly.com/Sean Policino/30MIN for 30 minutes and schedule a free coaching call with me, a strategy session. And we can talk about what it looks like for you as far as the team and the individual agent. Now, back to the second reason why most agents fail and they fall into the pitfalls, and that is not identifying a strategy. If you pick a strategy like calling expireds, and you get on the phone and you start calling them and they're yelling and screaming at you and you just can't, you hate it, then pick another one. There's 50 different ones. Pick 2 or 3 that you love and can commit to and stick with them. But if you find one that you don't love, or there's some reason you can't, like you don't have the skills, you don't have the technology, you don't have the budget, like for farming, geographic farming is where you take a neighborhood and you door knock it, you go out and door knock it. If you can't commit to going out and door knocking 3 days a week and hitting every door once a quarter, then don't do it. Then don't do that strategy. If you can't commit to spending money on direct mail advertising to that farm, to those same people you're door knocking, then don't do it. Maybe you can say, I'm going to start by door knocking, and then on the 3rd month, 3 months from now, I'm going to start by mailing it. That's okay to do it that way. But pick the strategy, stick to it, have 3 or 4 strategies that you absolutely like. If you're on Clubhouse and you want to join in and have any commentary here, just do me a favor, raise your hand. I'll invite you in up on stage and we can chat. This is the real world of real estate. I like talking with real agents about real situations. That's what we do here. Okay. So the third reason why agents fail and fall into a pitfall is because they don't want to make phone calls. I'll be honest with you. They just flat out don't like the phone. They have a fear of the phone. They have a fear of getting somebody on the phone, not knowing what to say. We have a course at Icon Coaching called Accelerated Breakthrough. It gives you the scripts and the dialogues. It tells you the methodology behind the scripts. It gives you techniques like neurologistic programming, which is a technique that you can use on the phone so that you can have a higher rate of conversion. You can go to iconcoaching.com/scripts, go up to the top, programs. You'll see Accelerated Breakthrough. That tells you about the program. You can also go to resources and go to scripts and dialogues, and there's free scripts and dialogues. You can meet with Sean there. He's got a video where he explains the rationale behind the script and gives you the script and tells you how to say it. You can come down and practice your scripts and dialogues. You can print the paper out while you're calling your sphere of influence, or FISBOs or expires, or whoever, or circle prospecting, whoever it is that you're calling, and you can turn around and practice those scripts and dialogues while you're reading it to people live on the phone. They won't know that you're reading it. Trust me. So the key is to do it enough. Just like if you were auditioning for a movie and I gave you the script and said, here's the character, that's the character you're playing. You're playing the character of a real estate agent. Real estate agents ask specific questions. Selling is not telling. Selling is asking questions. So in the scripts and dialogues, you will learn about the questions to ask. And then you just have to practice it, get comfortable with it, and you will know what to say. So remember, the third pitfall that agents fall into is they don't make phone calls. So the outbound call is absolutely important. It doesn't matter if you're generating leads from Facebook ads, from sign calls, from your sphere of influence, or any other lead source. If you're not going to make those calls, guess what? You're not going to sell real estate. You might sell 4 or 5 or 6 homes by accident every year, but you're not going to sell 30, 40, 50 homes a year. You're not going to be able to build a team and have multiple different revenue streams like I do today. So the third pitfall is they don't make calls. So get over that fear of it. Practice it. Script, find a role play partner. If you need a role play partner, call me. I can help you find somebody. You can go to Icon Producers Mastermind on Facebook. It's a private Facebook group for our coaching company, Icon Coaching. Go there. I'll approve you. I'm an admin. I'll approve your access. Icon Producers on Facebook Mastermind. And you'll find lots of content in there. You can say, hey, I'd like to join. I'd like to have a role play partner, and find somebody that's equal talent to you and equal time in the real estate business. And you guys can bounce scripts and dialogues off of each other, practicing as if you were trying out for a part in a movie, practicing a script, just like in a movie. Okay. So I gave you three reasons why agents fail, why they become part of the statistic, which is 90% of agents don't make it past the first year in this business, and 85% of the ones that do make it past a year don't make it past 5 years. That's a horrible statistic. And the three were using a CRM, and don't be a secret agent. Call your sphere of influence. That's the first thing. Touch your sphere of influence 33 times a year. Effectively touch them. That's why people fail. The second thing is to pick 2 or 3 other lead generation strategies. For me, it was open houses. Just to recap, for me, it was open houses. Between my sphere and between the open houses, I sold 36 homes my first year. The third thing is they're afraid of the phone. They don't make the phone call as a important part in their real estate business. Literally, it's the gas in your car, guys. A contact is, our definition of a contact is a face-to-face or voice-to-voice conversation about real estate. If you're not going to make these calls, you got to do it by face-to-face. Real estate is a contact sport. That's what I like to say. It's about making contacts. 100 contacts a week. That's 100 conversations about real estate, where you ask them if they're looking to buy a home, sell a house, or invest in real estate, or you ask them if they know anybody that's looking to buy a home, sell a house, or invest in real estate that you can call today. That's a contact. You make 100 of those a week. You do it every week consistently. Real estate is 90 days out. Everything you do today shows up in 90 days. Trust me, you will start to see a pipeline form. That pipeline should average, depending upon where you live, a minimum of 10,000 per transaction. My minimum is 17,000 per transaction. So I sell 35 to 45 homes a year. You do the math. It's a no-brainer. I control my own schedule. I time block. I don't work a million hours. I have a lot of weekends off, believe it or not. So this is the type of business you can have. So I gave you the 3 things. Now it's about you implementing it. So Michael, you're the only one on Clubhouse. Do you care to jump on stage with me, and we could talk some real world of real estate? Are you open to that? I'm going to go ahead and send you an invite. And if you're open, jump on stage with me and let's talk about your real estate business. We'll close.
I can give you a couple minutes as a fellow Libertas EXP member.
Nice. Welcome, Michael.
But I do have to leave to go pick up the kids from school soon. So.
Cool. So
well, I need some support while I do some other work.
I appreciate that. So you've been listening. Does anything resonate with you? Do you have anything to add or any questions? Anything you need clarification on?
No, I completely agree with you, man. I'm certified mentor here at EXP, and I tell my mentees all the time that don't be the secret agent thing. Like, rule number 1, you got your license for a reason. If nobody knows, you're not doing a damn thing.
Yes, that's so true. And would you agree that their sphere of influence, that most agents make the mistake of not effectively becoming top of mind with their sphere, and so they don't have a system in place? So if you I know you came on a little bit late, but in the beginning, if you want to watch this back, it's on, it'll be on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes as well. But I shared with them a strategy that came right out of The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, which is a book they can go buy today that gives them a model for $1 million real estate business, and the first thing is your sphere and systematically touching it. Any comments on that?
No, you're absolutely right. You know, goes back to the secret agent thing. Like,
Right.
The first thing you got to do is get the people that you know to know that you're in the game. And then even if they're not buying a house from you, maybe somebody they know is going to buy that house from you.
Yep, that's so true. Well, hey, I appreciate you jumping on with me, and maybe you'll join the club, like, share any of the content, and I'll let you get back to your thing, what you're doing.
Yeah, no worries, man. I got to bounce in like 2 minutes to go get the kids from school. So.
All right, Michael, talk to you later.
Thanks.
Bye. So thank you for joining me today. Every day, weekly, I should say. Sorry, every week at 2 p.m. we meet here on Clubhouse, and we are going to occasionally broadcast live. I was doing it live every day on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and all the channels, but then I realized you can't edit it. So I'm going to pop in live on Facebook, live on YouTube from time to time, but we're going to be live on Clubhouse daily, sharing tips and strategies, the real world of real estate. My name is Sean Policino. If you want to contact me, 818-338-8787. You can reach me on any one of the private messages on any one of these platforms that you're seeing this, as well as schedule with me. If you want to know why I left Keller Williams after 16 years, I love Keller Williams, but EXP is better. It's better. Trust me. If you want to know why, schedule with me today. Calendly, calendly.com/Sean Policino. That's SeanPoliseno. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.